Hello and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Race 4 of the Toyota SFR Championship. Today we'll be racing at Lake Maggiore Centre 2, but a quick look at the Drivers' Championship standings. Demon R leading the way on 60 points, and then Steve F1 and SGP sharing second place. Iceman, after only 2 races, has 32 points, and he's closely followed by Dave the Harp and Rodders. And we have Twilight on 27, Jason and Bunzel both on 25, Hulkenberg only a point behind them, and then from 11th down it's still very, very close. However, for this race, let's take a look at the qualifying order. And in pole position, I can't say it. Joe Hulkenberg. In second place it's Demon R, in third place it's Iceman, in fourth it's DGT League SGP, and then Groover in only his second race taking 5th place ahead of Dave the Harp. This could be a very interesting race. It's a very short track. Let's hand over to the commentary team. There we are then, Hulkenberg on pole position, Demon R in second place, and we're ready for a 53 lap race as the cars are ready, the drivers are ready, and away they go. But it's looking like a little bit of a slow start for the front three, and it is. Iceman through into the lead already, and Groover up into second.
Yeah, Groover, I'm not too sure where he qualified, but he's doing well to be in second place at turn 1.
Yeah, Dave the Harp though slipped up the inside of him through turn 1, so Dave the Harp now into second place, Groover third, Jason fourth, Hulkenberg from pole position down to 5th. I can't even see SGP or Demon R in the top 8, and they were second and 4th on the grid.
Yeah, SGP's there in 9th, and I think Demon R's in 10th at the moment. So yeah, SGP making his way through the field up behind Jason.
Yeah, so Groover then back down to 3rd place now with Hulkenberg, who's managed to sneak past, I think it was Jason, as Jason went off. So Hulkenberg back up to 4th place, and he's attacking Groover straight away for 3rd place. Now it's a very short lap here, only going to take about 45 seconds a lap around this track, which is why we've got 53 of them. Is Hulkenberg going to go for the move? He's having a look up the inside. It's a sneaky little look, and Groover closes the door beautifully.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be appreciating that, but that gives Steve F1 a nice run on James Hulkenberg. So we're going side by side now through the Twisty Chicken.
Twisty Chicken? Well, it's a fast chicken. It's a KF. It's a KF chicken.
Yeah. So yeah, Steve F1 is currently in 5th place. Groover in 3rd. The SGP there is.
Sorry, go on.
No, SGP managed to have a little look at Jason. Jason almost lost it there.
Well, I think SGP may have actually got on 2 wheels and hit Jason, and sent Jason a little bit facing the wrong direction. Groover dropping places again. Steve F1 attacking now into turn 1, a bit of a gap to Demon R, who is in 6th place, and SGP behind him. Groover having a look up the inside though of Steve F1, or is he defending up the inside to Steve F1? I think because Hulkenberg went up there on the last lap, Groover's like, you're not doing it, mate, I'm not leaving the door open at all on this occasion.
Yeah, so Steve F1 now side by side. Can he make it through?
I think he had to back out of that. It's because it's such a fast corner there. If you're offline, you do have to lift off the throttle a little bit. Oh, Demon R running wide on the grass.
Oh, he just managed to hold it, but that was going to put SGP right on his tail.
Yep, and then we have Twilight, who's been doing well with this championship. All in the background, we've got 4 cars battling through the final couple of corners. Absolutely frantic stuff. We're already on lap 4, and it feels like we've only just started the race.
Yeah, so Twilight there and Jason going to go side by side into turn 1. We're just going to have a little look there at the race leader. He's got a little bit of a gap over Dave the Harp, and then the fair way back to James Hulkenberg in 3rd.
Yeah, Steve F1 still trying to get past Groover. He's got a different line through the fast corners this time. He's set that up beautifully to look up the inside, and Twilight is having a look up the inside of SGP as well as he made the move. I think he has. Oh no, he ended up on the grass, and he's given SGP a good shunting. Oh, and around he goes.
Yeah, I think Twilight, it's one of them corners, the 3rd to last corner. I'm not too sure which corner number it is, but it's one of them corners uphill off camber. It's so easy to understeer and hit a counter on the outside.
It definitely is, and Twilight definitely lifted off there and waited for SGP, realised he'd punted him off, and Twilight also headed into the pits, so he's given himself a penalty on that one. So Demon R now trying to, well, in all of that, Demon R has managed to get past Groover, which we didn't see unfortunately, but Steve F1 is now going to come under attack from Demon R, as Dave the Harp's doing really well at the moment to keep pace with Iceman at the front, and Hulkenberg started first, dropped down to 6th, he's now back up to 3rd and closing in on Dave the Harp.
Yeah, so Steve F1 right now, he's got Demon R right behind him, and Demon R was less than a tenth of a second behind James Hulkenberg in qualifying, so I expect Demon R to make his way through.
Yeah, I would expect so. Steve F1 looking defensive. Demon R, is he going to go for a bit of an undercut? Yes, he is. He's trying to get a better exit, but he's not quite got the pace, so he's going to have to drop into the slipstream. And Groover doing well. He was dropping places, but he's holding on to 6th at the moment, as he's got Jason and Bunsell right behind him.
I'm not too sure if SGB pitted or not. I know that Twilight did. But SGP is a fair way off now as Jason runs wide.
I don't think SGP pitted. Obviously, he had the spin with Twilight, and Twilight definitely did pit. Yeah, SGP didn't. He's just catching up to the back of the pack now. So he's tucking up behind Bunsell. This could get a little tricky though down to turn 1, because Rich Blues is there as well, and Jason trying to make moves on Drew.
Yeah, so all on the current same tyres at the moment. We're on lap 7. Do you expect anybody to pit pretty soon?
I don't think it'll be too long, as SGP made a beautiful move through over 2 cars through turn 1, and Demon R sizing up Steve F1. SGP going side by side with Drew as well, and Jason, I think it is. So Steve's managed to catch Demon R and Steve F1 side by side into the final corner. Has Demon R gone deep? Yes, he has. That's going to give Steve F1 an opportunity to attack back, but he can't turn in. So Demon R does take the place, and in the background we can see that SGP did manage to take 7th place, so he is now ahead of Jason, and he's going to have to attack. Oh, but here's attacking Hulkenberg on Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp giving plenty of room, but going for a switchback and does it beautifully.
Yeah, James Hulkenberg just missed his braking point there just by a few metres, and that's all it takes to completely cock up an overtake, so he needs to make sure that he gets on with it, because the more time he keeps stuck behind Dave the Harp, he's not going to have a chance to fight Iceman.
Yeah, definitely, and he can't really afford to let Iceman run away. As Hulkenberg looking up the inside again, David Hart went a little bit wide on the previous corner, and now he's gone wide again, or at least he's given plenty of room to Hulkenberg. Is he going to have a decent run on him down towards turn 1? He might do. Demon R is coming under pressure from Steve F1, and I feel a little bit like a horse racing commentator.
Yeah, I'm losing my throat here, there's too much going on, but Jason now is right on the back of Bunsell.
Yeah, he is. Jason is, since he's joined DGT, Drew looking up the inside of Jason though. Has he made the move? I think he has. Yes, he has. He's managed to sweep through there. Groover's still in that fight as well. I was going to say Jason has been doing very well since he joined the DGT League. He's a very consistent driver, but 3 wide through the fast chicane. Is it going to work? No. Groover takes the place. Jason slots in ahead of Drew. Drew now having a look up the inside of the fast left-hander, and contact is made.
Oh, I think that were pretty much Drew just drove straight into them there.
Yeah, I think that's a corner where it's tempting to go and chuck it up the inside, but the nature of the corner, the gap just closes and closes and closes, as I think Rich Blues is into the pits.
Demon R still stuck behind Steve F1. Can he try and manage to nail this overtake? Because the more time he keeps stuck behind Steve F1, he's not going to be able to challenge Iceman and James Hulkenberg.
Well, interestingly, Demon R was ahead of Steve F1, so Steve F1 has managed to get back ahead of him, but now Demon R up alongside Steve F1. Steve F1 on the dirty part of the track, can't do anything about that, so he loses the position once again. Drew is all over the back of Bunsell, and he's having a look for the same move again. I think he's realised on this occasion, though, that it's not going to work yet. He had to back out a little bit, and he has attacked into the penultimate corner instead. That'll work better for you, because Bunsell's now got a tight line drive right around the outside, and that's the position done. That's the way to do it. Oh god,
yeah.
No comments about the that's the way to do it. I remember that dodgy old puppet.
Well, Iceman's got a fairly healthy gap now over James Hulkenberg in second place. I think it's about 6 seconds, so Yeah, he couldn't ask for more at this moment in time.
That is true. Now, at the start of the race, we did see Hulkenberg, Demonor and SGP have very slow starts, and I am hearing that the reason for that is they have gone for a very long gear ratio to maximise the gearing around the track. It comes at a cost of a slow start to the race. We'll have to see whether it comes as a benefit as the race goes on later on.
Hulkenberg's into the pit. He's going for, I think it's going to be a 4 stop, that, if he's going to be pitting every 8 minutes.
Pitting that early definitely could be. David Harp also into the pit lane with him. Steve F1 still right with Demon R. SGP, after all of his dramas, is closing in on these two. So Iceman now has quite a big lead over Demon R, but what will be interesting is what can Hulkenberg do when he comes out of the pits on fresher tyres. Where will he be able to get himself up to? Same with David Harp.
Yeah, they both need to make the way through the field as quick as possible and get straight onto the back of this pack, but it's all about the midfield drivers. Are they going to be kind and leave the door open, or are they going to be rude and shoving the door shut in the face?
The thing is, you want them to defend, and you want them to be, I don't want to say aggressive, you don't want them to go, oh, here you go, have a position, but at the same time, defend, yes, just don't hit each other. Or Jason trying to attack Formula Gary, can't quite get it done. He's going to have to be careful of Bunsell. And there is Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg coming out of the pits, he's now right behind Bunsell. Bunsell, Jason and Formula Gary all on older tyres. They're going to be slower through some of these final few corners. And what is Hulkenberg going to be able to do about it, if anything? He's going to have to make moves as quickly as he can to maximise the benefit of the fresh tyres. And there is David Harp as well, sneaking up the back of Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg having a look at Bunsell, but Bunsel's trying to make an overtake himself.
Yeah, James Hulkenberg right now cannot find a way through as they're going side by side in front of him. SGP up to third as somebody's pitted. I'm not too sure who that was.
It was Demon R. So Demon R from second place, he's now into the pit lane. So sticking to his usual strategy of pitting about 10 minutes as Hulkenberg chucks it up the inside of Formula Gary. Oh, but he's losing the rear end. It was an opportunity there. So instead of gaining a place, he's lost a place, and it's been the Star Wars fan has been demoted by the Star Trek fan.
Well, he's lost the 2 places there. He's now dropped behind Dave the Arts. Dave the Arts doing a cracking job.
Jason doing a bit of grass cutting.
Yeah. Oh, Hulkenberg giving Dave the Arp a little bit of a love kiss, but not enough to drive Dave the Arp off the circuit there.
Yeah.
But the more and more these guys are just held up, Demon R's going to be rubbing his hands, and there he is.
Yeah, so Demon R's come out in 12th place, but it is right behind the pack. I did see Jason off wide on the grass again, so I think his tyres were shot. He's into the pit lane, so is Bunsell. Bunsel's on the medium compound tyre, by the way. So Formula Gary now finds himself in 4th place, but he's gone ever so wide around turn 1. That's going to give Dave Harp and Hulkenberg a decent opportunity on their fresher tyres. They need to get past Formula Gary right now, because the likes of Demon R is going to be catching up. There he is. He's already up to 10th place on the back of Richmond. They are massively sideways. Gary looking up the inside. Sorry, go on, James.
How did he save that? That he must need a new pair of undies. But here comes Demon R now up the inside of Twilight into the penultimate corner. He's got the Star Trek fan of Formula Gary. Oh no, Formula Gary. I don't know what happened there in the background, but Formula Gary just left the door wide open there for Demon R.
Yeah, I think that was Groover that we saw going head on into the barrier there. So Demon R in one lap goes from 12th up to 6th. Formula Gary having a sneaky look back up into turn 1, but his tyres haven't got the grip anymore. He will be pitting soon, I am sure. But Iceman critically has continued on. He has not pitted yet, as these guys are still battling it out. So Iceman leading. Steve F1 in 2nd place hasn't pitted. SGP hasn't pitted. Hulkenberg's in 4th. He has pitted. Iceman pitting now. This is crucial then. What is the distance? What is the positioning going to be with Hulkenberg and Iceman?
Oh, well, if he can pit and come out in front of Hulkenberg, he's going to be laughing with Iceman. But it looks to me like James Hulkenberg's on a 4 stop, and Dave the Art's also on a 4 stop. Demonar's on a 3-stop, and it looks like Iceman's going to try and go for a 2-stop, but I think he's coming out behind the pack here.
He is, yes. So Hulkenberg is up to 3rd place, David Hart 4th, Demonar 5th. Iceman has come out of the pits in 6th place. So the guy that was leading is now behind the 3 cars that were right behind him before the pit stops. This could get interesting, especially if there's different strategies going on here. When will Steve F1 and SGP pit? I don't know, but they actually might benefit when they come out. So go on.
Demonar up the inside of Davey Hart. And yeah, I think Davey Hart's tyres are just crying a little bit, but he only pitted a few laps ago, so I think he's wanting to go at least another 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, quite possibly. Steve F1 has gone into the pits. So yeah, Demonar making the move. Iceman trying to look at capitalising on Dave the Harp straight away as well. Dave the Harp's tyres are going to be a few laps older, a few minutes older as well than Iceman. I think Iceman had a better run through turn 1. So SGP now leading and Hulkenberg right behind him. Iceman all over the back of Dave the Harp. So yeah, looking at the gap that Hulkenberg and Demonar have pulled out on Dave the Harp, I think Dave's hurting his tyres a bit too much. Oh, Rich Blues! Rich Blues gives the cops a little bit of a nudge into the barriers and says, have that copper.
I think SGP's coming under pressure now in the final corner. He's going to have to pit because otherwise he's going to get swallowed up by the pack, and there he goes into the pit lane.
Yeah, what I was trying to say as well about Steve F1 and SGP, when they come out of the pits, they may come out in a little bit of clear air behind the pack, which will give them a couple of laps of clear air, and then hopefully cars ahead of them will dip into the pits. Demonar, though, he's attacking Hulkenberg straight away. There's a little bit of a nudge on Hulkenberg. So side by side they're going to go through the fast left-right chicane. Who's going to get the exit of the corner? Demonar is ahead, but knowing Hulkenberg, he's not going to give this up lightly, and he's not. He's looking up the inside. He's throwing it up the inside. Can he make it? Oh no, he can't.
A little bit of a love kiss there from James Hulkenberg going, there you go, you can go through, but I'll give you a little bit of a kiss. But yeah, I've heard as well in the media down there, Demonar's been giving James Hulkenberg a few tips on setup. Do you think he's regretting it right now?
No, not at all. Well, he probably is if Hulkenberg overtakes him for sure. But it's one of those things. I mean, Demonar, for anyone that knows him, he's more than happy to help people out if it creates better racing for people, and that's what we want. And we are seeing some great racing. SGP having a look up the inside. Oh, Bunsell, SGP on brand new tyres. Lovely move. Bunsell being a brilliant dance partner there. That's lovely to see. But this is what I was trying to say about SGP coming out of the pits with a little bit of a gap. He'll be able to pick people off easier than when there's a whole 4 cars wide ahead of him.
So right now I think Iceman and SGP are the only 2 drivers on a 2-stop strategy. I think SGP's
Steve F1 is as well.
Oh right, okay, right. So this is going to be interesting. And James Hulkenberg now, his tyres will be crying. He's probably want to go one more lap before he pits. He's going to try and keep Iceman behind. I don't know how it's going to go though.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, SGP's made the move on Drew, and Bunsell has capitalised on that as well. So SGP making moves nicely. And interestingly as well, Steve F1 was behind SGP before they pitted. Steve F1 is now ahead of SGP. Iceman is closing in on the back of Hulkenberg. But I'm wondering, if you're Hulkenberg, wouldn't you be thinking about, okay, let's just see how long I can go on this stint. If I can stay anywhere near these guys, I should be all right.
I think the main thing he's thinking is just keep him behind and stick to my strategy. And there he goes, he's going into the pit lane, so he's committing to a 4-stop strategy. It is risky because you're going to come out in the pack, but he's hoping to make his way through the pack very quickly, as just like SGP is now.
Yeah.
His tyres are only about 3 laps old.
Yeah, Jason, he's looking at attacking Groover up the inside as well. Groover has been attacked into turn 1 quite a lot, and to be fair, I've not seen Groover in a collision with anybody in turn 1, so Groover doing very well so far in his 2nd race of the Dynamic GT League. But yeah, SGP wasting no time, making clean moves up into 4th place, is right behind Steve F1 now. So this is very interesting. And Hulkenberg, he's come out in 11th place, and he's now got the pack all a little bit more condensed, shall we say. Oh, Drew, that was big lag there by Drew. Well, I say by Drew, with Drew there. That could be a problem for everybody else around him, as Hulkenberg is now on the back of him, and it looks like Drew is trying to go to the pit lane. Drew is trying to go to the pit lane, but Hulkenberg, I think he's put Hulkenberg into the pit wall and Hulkenberg into the pits. Hulkenberg has only just come out of the pits. His team crew are down there saying, what the bloody hell are you doing back here so soon?
Oh, that's absolutely destroyed his strategy, and he was just gambling on fresher tyres, and he was not expecting to be shoved in the pit lane there.
No, that means Drew is going to have to do another lap before he can pit as well. I mean, Grover! Oh, that's the risk of being side by side through the fast left-right corners. It can easily put you a wheel on the grass, as David Harper's pitted, and he is now on the back of this pack. And as I was trying to say with Hulkenberg, catching up to these cars while they're 2-3 wide is going to cost nothing but time. Drew lagging again as he gets into the pit lane this time, but David Harper is trying to make the move.
So what do you think about that there with Drew? Because James Hulkenberg were clearly up his inside. Do you think? I mean, I know if I were a driver, I'd probably back off, let them go through, and then bolt into the pit lane. That would be my safest strategy.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you're wanting the pit lane and there's a car next to you between you and the pit lane, you're the one that does have to avoid the other car. So you have to lift off and tuck in behind them, or continue on for another lap. I mean, I've had to do that so many times in racing situations where you go, I want the pits, but someone's next to me, and unfortunately you just have to deal with it in the best way possible. Unfortunately for Drew there, I know him, and I don't think he'd do anything maliciously, but I think you could definitely say that's a lack of awareness, because if he'd have known that Hulkenberg was there, he wouldn't have turned in towards the pit lane. And that is where the Dynamic GT League admins say drivers use the radar, the full radar, the circular one, so that you can see exactly when a car is next to you at all times. It makes for much better racing, and it means in a situation like that, he can hit the brakes and tuck in the pit lane.
Right, so Demon Art, he's on his 3-stop strategy, I believe. He's probably going to try and go one more lap. Can he keep Iceman behind him?
If he can, it will give him quite a bit of confidence, but again, if he can, he may consider going longer and try and shorten stints later in the race. But it's an interesting 3 different strategies going on here for the battle of the race, the lead for the battle of the win. I'll get there eventually. There's Dave the Harp. He is trying to make a move on Formula Gary. Side by side they go. Gary is making him work for it. See, I don't mind that.
Yeah, he just gave him a car's width and nothing more, and that just forced Dave the App to really work for that one. But he managed to do it, but Iceman's still tucked up behind Demon Art.
Yeah, and Iceman's tyres are obviously considerably fresher than Demon R's, but Demon R's going for the pit lane. That caught Iceman off guard there. I think Iceman was looking for going for a switchback move, but Demon R moving over to the right-hand side early to say, look, I'm going for the pits. And that's interesting. We'll get onto that in a second. Hulkenberg is trying to fight his way back through, making moves on Twilight through the final corner, and I really do feel like a horse racing commentator. All I need to do is get those hand signals going. Usually it's the racing drivers' standard ones, the 2 fingers, the 1 finger, and the shaking hand.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, but Dave the Arp, he was on the same strategy as James Hulkenberg before, and he's not really capitalised. He's been stuck in the pack. James Hulkenberg's done 2 pit stops and he's right behind him.
Yeah. Oh, Hulkenberg's been squeezed up against the wall there. I think Hulkenberg might be getting angry as Formula Gary. That's Star Wars on Star Trek, that is.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a feud going on between Formula Gary and James Hulkenberg there. But yeah, it's one of them corners where you've really either got to commit or back off. You cannot go flat out side by side through there.
Yeah, definitely. Demon R, having pitted, has come out in 5th place ahead of Dave the Harp and James Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg did lose a lot of time having to do the extra pit stop as SGP and Steve F1 are battling it out for 2nd place at the moment. Cut me off, James, if anything happens with them. But yeah, Hulkenberg losing time with the extra pit stop. Dave the Harp losing time with the pack. But this has put these 2 guys in a brilliant position.
Yeah, indeed. So Iceman, Steve F1 and SGP are all on pretty much the same strategy. But Jason, I'm not too sure what strategy Jason's on, but Demon R, we know he's on a 3-stop, so he will be catching these guys pretty quickly.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, SGP is quite a shrewd character when it comes to strategy. As Formula Gary has managed to get himself ahead of Hulkenberg again. So Formula Gary, he's definitely not making it easy for these guys today.
Yeah, he's I think there's definitely a feud going on. There's, up the inside here goes James Hulkenberg. Can he get it slowed down? Oh, that was quite nice actually from James Hulkenberg. More often than not, he's sliding sideways with his handbrake.
Is that why Formula Gary gave him about 3 cars widths?
Maybe.
Oh,
But
SGP having a look up the inside of Steve F1. Can he make the move? Yes, he can. It's a lovely move, but Steve F1, he's going to chuck it up the inside of the final corner. Side by side they come, but Steve F1 can't get the power down with that tighter line. That's a lovely move from SGP, but Iceman's got quite a lead. And in the background, Jason doing a Schumacher on Demon R. Oh, that was close.
That was very, very close. And just behind these, there's Dave Hart and James Hulkenberg, so they need to try and pull away from this pack that is chomping at their heels.
Yeah, Groover now having a look up the inside of Formula Gary. Formula Gary spotted he was there, giving him room, and that's meant he's nudged Bunsell, and that's allowed Drew to slip up the inside. So, getting very interested at the back here, that's for sure.
Yeah, and James Hulkenberg just managed to make his way through past Davey Harper and a touch wide in turn 1.
Oh, Drew's lagging a lot.
That's going to create a lot of carnage, and it's probably the worst corner to have lag. It's an off-camber corner. You can't really see the exit until you're there, really.
Yeah, his car is definitely lagging about a lot, and I am hearing from the pit lane that drivers are commenting that there is a TARDIS police car out there on track at the moment. It does make things very difficult because you just don't know where to put your car.
No, indeed. And it isn't that Drew probably isn't even experiencing what the other guys are experiencing, but unfortunately, it's not looking good for Drew at this moment in time. But Bunsell there going side by side with Groover on the back of Dave Hart. I think they're trying to push him down the road.
I think you might be right there, but saying that, I mean, Dave the Harp has been quite punishing on his tyres today, so I wouldn't be surprised if these guys are keeping up with him. He's probably going to be heading to the pit lane soon. Yeah, he's running deep, looking to the corners. I think his tyres are just about had it. I think he's going to be heading into the pit lane on this occasion as Drew. I don't know if he's lagging or overtaking, but he's I think he's making life difficult for Groover. As Twilight, he's trying to capitalise straight away on Groover and Formula Gary and Drew and Bunsell. Oh my God, is he going to make 4 moves in one straight and a corner?
Being the sensible person I am, I'd have braked early there, let them all run wide and then pop through on the exit, but I'm not in the car. I'm quite glad in that situation.
Well, to be fair to Twilight, he made an overtake on 4 cars there on one straight and one corner. That was brilliant stuff from him. SGP coming under pressure from Steve F1 again, and there's Demon R now. So Demon R, if he is doing an extra pit stop, he is going to have to overtake these guys and then pit again soon and overtake them again.
Yeah, Steve F1's like a bad penny. He just won't go away. He's just keeping hold of SGP and forcing him to basically work for his position. But Demon R's making his way through now on the inside.
Yeah, Steve F1 being hung out to dry on the dirty side of the track again through the fast chicane, and that's the difference of I was going to say the difference of the tyres. It's all about the driver. No, it is. There's a big difference of tyre wear at the moment for SGP, Steve F1 and Demon R. Demon R is attacking SGP straight away, and there's Iceman. They've got a decent lead now.
Yeah, it looks to be growing. It's about 7 or 8 seconds now, but Demon R, is he going to try and make a move on SGP?
He is having a look straight away up into turn 1, and the thing is for Demon R, if he is doing the extra pit stop compared to these two and Iceman, he also needs to close that gap to Iceman as much as he can now and after his next pit stop as well. Dave the Harp, he's coming under pressure from Twilight, who's been driving beautifully, but Bunsell, he's doing very well as well because he's trying to attack Twilight and he's got Groover in his slipstream, but here comes Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg must have pitted, so he's in the pack again.
Yeah, I think he's going to be getting quite sick of the pack at the moment. But Iceman from the race lead into the pits.
Yeah, and Hulkenberg has managed to get a couple of places already, so up into 8th place he goes. Is he going to have a look at the inside of Twilight? He has a look, and Twilight sees that he's there. Dave the Harp is going defensive though. Twilight, he's looking for a switch back on Dave the Harp. This is beautiful. I mean, I've seen some shocking racing in my days, but this, considering how chaotic it is, and there's a laggy car out there, it's pretty beautiful. As Twilight is trying to make the move now on Dave the Harp. I think this is probably one of Twilight's best attacking races I've seen. Okay, he's fighting for 6th place at the moment, but the overtakes he's making are brilliant.
Yeah, I think as well, James Hulkenberg there, that outlap was absolutely astonishing. He managed to make his way through the pack, and I think that's really what he needed earlier on if he wanted to make his strategy work. Right now, he's in damage limitation mode.
Yeah, I was going to mention as well, with Iceman pitting when he did, that's unlucky for Demon R, because Demon R needed a few more laps of catching Iceman up, whereas Iceman will now be closing the gap to Demon R, which means that when Demon R pits, the gap between them is bigger. So David Hart dips into the pit lane for what might be his last, no, it won't be his last stop. He'll have another one to make. Groover having a look up the inside of Bunsell. There's Jason in the background. Is he going to be able to do anything about this as well? He is. He's going to try going all the way around the outside of Groover. He's going to have slipstream, but Jason's going to get boxed in here. He's going to be like going down to IKEA and going, I'll have that cabinet, and they just give you a box.
Oh, he's had to back out of it there. That was quite smart, actually. Groover's running a touch wide. But here we go, SGP for P2. He's going to go into the pit lane. Is Steve going to follow him in? Yes, he is. So that's going to release Iceman now.
Yeah, and there is the gap between Demon R and Iceman. And with Iceman on the fresher tyres, he will be closing that gap to Demon R. Twilight coming under pressure from Groover and Jason. It's difficult sometimes to see the difference between Jason's car and Drew's car, but Jason not going with a full yellow livery this occasion, but he is going for the overtake on Groover. It's a nice move. Ooh. As SGP and Steve F1 come out of the pits. Groover gives Jason a little bit of a nudge and says, God, I'll help you try make them pass, give you a bit of a boost.
But SGP and Steve F1 need to get the way through past this pack, because if it gets stuck, that's just going to allow Iceman to run away with this.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely into a crucial phase of the race, because Twilight's ran wide. Make contact with Groover. SGP takes evasive. He made the move on Twilight, I think. Now he's going for a switch back on Groover. Steve F1's gone for a really tight line into the penultimate to try and get a switch back as well. But now he's been nudged into the wall. Oh dear. That's
Twilight. Yeah, Twilight were on the inside there. It looked like he'd clobbered the curb too much and went straight forward and smacked into Steve F1. If I was Steve F1, I'd be probably putting a complaint in there towards Twilight.
I think if I was Twilight though, I'd be tempted to say, well look, I was trying to give them room, I was all over the curb on the inside of the corner, and it just threw me up on two wheels, and I smacked him into the wall. My bad.
Bad. But here goes Demon R into the pit lane, and that's going to release Iceman back into the lead. And where is Demon R going to come out of the pit? Is he going to manage to get out in front of James Hulkenberg, do you think?
I think, or actually, you know what, I don't think he will, because he was only just ahead of SGP and Steve F1, so I think he may be behind SGP. He won't be behind Steve F1, because Steve F1 hit the wall, but actually looking at it, you know what, I think Demon R has come out in third place behind Hulkenberg. Yes, he has, so he's managed to get out ahead of the pack, and he needed that to be able to try and attack Hulkenberg and Iceman.
Yeah, so that was crucial for him, but he's right up behind James Hulkenberg, so well, that's what we're hearing anyway. So
there he is. The side-by-side Hulkenberg. Well, I say side-by-side, I'm hearing the Demon R hit Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg, if he wasn't angry before, he is now. But has Demon R? Yeah, Demon R's waited for him and let him retake the place, but that has cost them both a crucial few seconds. But to be fair, Hulkenberg's lost worse time earlier on in the race from worse stuff.
Oh, indeed. And here comes Jason and SGP. Demon R needs to make this move as quick as possible past James Hulkenberg, because here
Hulkenberg? Who's Hulkenberg?
I've got a cold, I can't pronounce all my words. Rachel Riley will be going mental at me. It's a vowel and consonant. You can't just chop it all up. But here we go. Demon R up the inside. Is he going to make the move?
So in the corner, he tried it last lap, didn't work. He tries it again, does work, gets a little bit sideways though. Hulkenberg's going to go up the inside, but Demon R says no way. But Hulkenberg says yes way, I'm going for it. Demon R knew that Hulkenberg was going to try it there. He went as defensive as he could, and Hulkenberg did go for it. But all that has done is allowed Jason to get in on this fight. Jason makes the move for third place now, and he may even make the move for second. And here comes SGP. SGP does not need to pit again.
Demon R does not need Jason and SGP getting past him, because they're on older tyres, and they've managed to get in front of James Hulkenberg, but they've really, Demon R just does not need them anywhere near him. Hopefully, with him now out in front, he'll be able to pull away.
He will hope so. I mean, looking as well at the track map, the gap between Iceman in the lead and Demon R is now around about 11 seconds, so it's quite a big gap. So things have not panned out for Demon R the way we would have liked, and Jason is having a look up the inside of the penultimate corner, but Demon R's having none of it. He needs a good exit though, because the last thing he needs is to be attacked down into turn 1 as Hulkenberg heads off into the pit lane once again. So where will he come out? I think he's going to come out behind the pack again.
Yeah, this is going to be crucial where he comes out, but I think Steve F1's stuck in 6th place right now. He was with SGP earlier in the race, but he's been caught up in the pack. I think, oh, Davey Adams wide there through turn 1. I think James Hulkenberg's going to try and do one extra stop and try and beat Steve F1.
So not a 4-stop strategy, going for a 5-stop?
Dave!
I didn't see what caused that. I just see the dust and the smoke and the smoke's from Dave's cockpit.
I think it were 3 into 1. I think it might have been Groover sticking his front end in a gap that just did not exist. But it were meant to be a 4-stop strategy for James Hulkenberg, but one of them pit stops was unintentional.
Yeah, that's true. Dave Harp goes into the pit, says SGP having a look at the inside of Jason, and Jason's having none of it. He realises the possibility of a podium here. He's not going to give it up easily, that's for sure. So Hulkenberg has come out in the pack. Twilight is fighting like Mike Tyson in that pack. He's making some pre-moves. Steve F1, after being put into the wall, has managed to just get himself back up to 5th place, but the gap between 5th and 4th, which was like but nose to tail, is now a good 3-4 seconds.
Yeah, so really the guys that have gone long on the tyres are looking good. Demon R's the only person on a 3-stop that's managing to beat the majority of the 2-stoppers.
Yeah, Hulkenberg making a move on Drew and Groover, that I think may have just had a little coming together through the final corner. Hulkenberg on fresh tyres, he's going to go up the inside surely, I know that. Yeah, there he goes.
The braking, this is going to be crucial. You know, quite tidy once again. He's actually spotted them braking points quite well now.
Clearly the work he's been doing with Demon R has helped a lot.
Yeah, I definitely think so. You know, the pace he's got this week, he's really able to show what he's got, and now he's all over the back of Twilight.
Yeah, and Twilight won't be easy to overtake, and as I say that, he just goes straight past him.
Yeah, SVP though, he's
cheers, Twilight,
all over
you
the
just
back.
made me right nuts.
Jason now with SGP, I can't believe that they're on the same strategy as Steve F1. Steve F1's down in 5th place. It's a long way back from these two.
I think it's that hitting to the wall though, isn't it, that's cost him a lot of time.
Yeah.
I mean, Iceman is on the same strategy as these two as well, and SGP has just made the move up into 3rd place. So yeah, I mean, what I would say is Iceman's definitely shown a decent amount of pace here today. He's also had the massive benefit of never really having to deal with the pack. SGP has, Jason has, Demon R has, Hulkenberg, everybody else has had to deal with the pack. But that's the benefit of getting out into the lead and opening up a bit of a gap. You can have benefits like that. I mean, I remember after doing the last commentary, you said to me that one of the things you'd noticed about Demon R was the crucial last pit stops that he'd had in previous races, where coming out ahead of the pack made the difference.
Yeah, indeed. So SGP is now in front of Jason. He's managed to make that move quite nicely, but I don't see him getting any better than 3rd place. Demon R's off down the road. SGP just needs to defend this with all he's got, and there is Steve F1, who's also on a 3-stop strategy, and James Hulkenberg's hunting him down. Yeah,
he is, and Hulkenberg's on much fresher tyres now as well, so we'll be able to attack, and Steve F1 knows what he's thinking. It's one of those.
Wide, though.
He's run wide, and it's one of the benefits of Hulkenberg's driving. He'll have a look up the inside, but if the move's not on and you make the other guy defend, it puts them out of position on the exit of the corner. It's horrible to defend against a driver like that, and that allows Hulkenberg to get a much better exit out the final corner, overtake into turn 1 and close the door, and says, "You're not going on the inside of me."
Yeah, that was very, very close, but I think that was James Hulkenberg saying, "Look, sorry."
Sorry, but move out the way.
But here comes Jason. Can he try and get past SGP? This is still very, very close. I think SGP's tyres are just 1 lap newer than Jason's, but you won't know it just looking at it.
No, definitely not. I mean, the thing is, I mentioned earlier on that Jason's been he's a very consistent driver, and he's showing that. I mean, to be up the bumper of SGP at this phase of the race just goes to show how good he is. He's actually having a look around the outside. SGP has to go defensive. This will give Jason an opportunity of a switchback, but actually SGP, he goes, no, you know what, I'm basically taking all of the apex of the curb. Oh, Dave the Hart's run wide. That's going to give Steve F1, I think Dave the Hart may have recently passed Steve F1. Yeah, he has, and then Dave ran wide, and that's allowed Steve to close the gap again.
But yeah, Dave the Arts on a 4-stop strategy has managed to get in front of Steve F1, but he's killing his tyres. It'll be a struggle, I think, to hold on over drivers that are looking after the tyres much better.
I'll tell you what though, I mean, Jason, he is impressing me here. He's making SGP go defensive, and it's working for Jason as they go side by side, and in the background we can see that Dave the Harp, Hulkenberg and Steve F1 are battling it out as well. But yeah, SGP is definitely having to defend hard.
Yeah, well, that's good to see, you know, especially from newcomers like Jason. We know that he's definitely not a midfield runner. He always usually ends up on the podium, and SGP's really having to fight for this.
He definitely is, and Jason will be absolutely, well, will he be loving this? He's stuck behind the car. Will he be enjoying the battle, or will he be thinking, come on, just let me through?
I don't think he'll want anybody to let him through, but there is Dave the Arp. He's struggling with them tyres, and he's moving back down the order now. Steve F1's got through, and I think, yeah, Dave the Arp's just, his tyres are absolutely shot.
Yeah, I mean, we're not far away from the end of the race either. We're on to lap 50 now of 53 as Dave the Harp looking up the inside of Groover. Can he get it stopped though? No, he can't! Into Steve F1, and I think Dave the Harp realises, yeah, he's pulled over. I think that almost, like, if Dave the Harp wanted to take somebody out, he just did it beautifully. If he accidentally braked a bit too late, he did that beautifully as well. But yeah, unfortunate there for Steve F1 and Dave the Harp, as Jason is still attacking SGP.
Yeah, I think that may have just been a bit of frustration, that he's pretty much been a healthy. Well, Dave the Harp knows he's been a hell of a lot quicker to a lot of the guys behind, and I think the frustration of being back behind that pack's really getting to him. But SGP now going tight into turn 1. Can Jason do a switchback?
I tell you what, SGP is doing something brilliant here, and hopefully people have been able to spot it. He's having to defend on the way into the corner, but he's taking a tight line on the way out of the corner, blocking the undercut.
Yeah, indeed. Because all you want to do is keep it tight, and the car on the inside that's slightly behind cannot get the foot on the throttle enough. Yeah. It just reduces the amount of time they've got to out-accelerate. Oh, he's still. Hey, I didn't even realise at the end of the race.
Right, okay, so it is the end of the race. Okay, so it looks like the timer ran out between first and second place. So what we got here? Twilight, Bunsell, Gary, Groover, Drew, Steve.
Oh, that was mental. But yeah, I think it just caught us off guard, because Iceman, he's still going round, but he has technically won the race already.
He has. You know what it was there? It's a technical error there. I was told it was a 53 lap race, but actually it was a 52 lap race. But everybody else, basically the 40-minute timer ran out as just after Iceman crossed the line. Iceman takes the win then. That ended a lot more abruptly than we were prepared for. That's just the worst ending to a race ever. All did finished.
well, let's just catch his breaths there. So
yeah,
Iceman did it. Did he do a 2-stop strategy?
I believe he did, yeah.
Yeah, 2-stop strategy. The only one to completely blitz it there. He did have the benefit of coming out of the pit and not having to deal with the rest of the pack. Fantastic win there. Demon out 3-stop strategy, beating SGP, Steve F1 and Jason on their 2-stop strategy. So he really utilised the tyres there. Then we had SGP, he came in 3rd. Fantastic job, but I think he'll be slightly annoyed with what happened at the start where he got spun round.
Yeah,
He could have had possibly 2nd place there. Then 4th place we had Jason. He were also on a 3-stop strategy, and he chomping at the bit there to get past SGP. And then we had James Hulkenberg, I believe, in 5th. place.
Interesting race for James, because starting on pole position, his first one in Dynamic GT League, slow start with the long gears, but recovered very, very well. And to be honest, I think, the first stint of the race, there was him and Dave the Harp that were running second and third, and I thought they were going to be finishing somewhere around second and third. And for Hulkenberg, that extra run through the pits that he wasn't expecting or needed just cost any opportunity of fighting for the win, because I think there was the opportunity to fight for the win.
Yeah, I'm just slightly baffled, and I'm sure he is as well, that Dave Harp was running second for a hell of a lot of laps at the start, and he ends up well down the order at the end. So yeah, pretty much having to do a little bit of a summary there, but that checkered flag just came out of nowhere.
It definitely did. What I can tell you as well is I am hearing that the DGT League admins have had a look into, at request of Hulkenberg, have had a look into the collision between Drew and Hulkenberg, which resulted in Hulkenberg into the pit wall before he ended up actually in the pits. And the admins have decided that Drew will receive a minus 3-point penalty from this race. So as unlucky or unaware as it may have been for Drew, I think I have to agree the penalty would be right in that situation, because if you end up putting someone through the pit lane, it's not a good situation. But hopefully he'll learn from it and use the radar, and we'll see how Hulkenberg and Drew get on in the next race.
Yeah, definitely. So expect the unexpected. Do you think at the next race we could see somewhat similar? Iceman trying to go long on his tyres, or I'm not too sure which is the next track.
It's
on top of your head?
Brands Hatch GP next, and that's an interesting track because there's only one slow corner, and the rest of it is pretty fast corners, which could be tyre eaters. The thing is, the circuit is quite a long one, and I can understand why the likes of SGP, Demon R, Hulkenberg went for the longer gear ratio with this track. I did hear that they tested it, and the lap time benefit was good. It was just comes with the pain of a very slow start. Will they try that again at the next race? I'm not so sure, because in hindsight, without that slow start, they may have ended up with a better result. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm just waiting to see if Demon R does anything other than pitting at 10 minutes, because that's all he's done. Everybody knows 10 minutes Demon R will pit.
Yeah, indeed. So all people need to know is pit on lap 9 and you'll be sorted.
Yeah, lap 9, doesn't matter if it's 10 minutes or not, pit on lap 9.
Yeah, just a bit different.
Lap 9 of Brands Hatch GP will be at about 15-16 minutes into the race. That's fine by Demon R standards. Go for it.
But I've got to say, that was probably one of the best races of the DGT League so far.
Yeah.
That were absolutely, from start to finish. I've got a bit of a cold, but I still managed to cope. And I don't know how you did your horse racing commentary.
I've no idea. I don't even think I'm awake yet.
We're like a Tommy gun going on.
I mean, to be fair though, it's the interesting nature of a very small circuit. I know when I first, because I thought, you know what, if I'm going to commentate on that track, I'm going to have a little go around it, and I gotta say, it's a brilliant little racetrack. It really is. And when I first drove around it, I thought, you know what, this is a track that'll either result in lots and lots of carnage, or if people are respectful, brilliant racing. Because it's such a short track, everything's compacted, everyone's going to be close together, lap times are quick. It was a very, very good race. Okay, we could sit here talking forever, but we're not going to. We are going to.
Are we not?
No, we're not.
Sorry, I thought we were still on for another 10 minutes. So.
No, we'll cut it short. Well, I think we did enough talking in the race.
What?
Hey. Okay, so James, thank you very much for joining me on the commentary once again.
And thank you very much. It was a pleasure to do commentary with you.
Oh, it always is. It was also great to see James Hulkenberg get a pole position.
Yeah, it's hard to say Hulkenberg with a blocked nose.
I wonder if that's what he says to the missus at night. It says Hulkenberg's ready.
It's time for a Hulkenberg.
Yeah, we'll end that there. Okay, so let's take a look at the final race order coming up now. So Iceman taking his first victory in the DGT League by a lap, because he crossed the line just before the 40 minutes were up and everybody else didn't. So Demon R in second place, SGP in third, Jason with a solid race in fourth, Hulkenberg was unlucky only to take fifth, and then Twilight in sixth, Bunsell seventh, Formula Gary with his best result so far in eighth, Groover in ninth, Drew in 10th, Steve F1 in 11th, and Dave the Harp in 12th, with Rich Blues finishing last. Okay, let's take a look at the championship standings. Still leading the way then is Demon R on 77 points with a 25-point gap to DGT League SGP and Iceman, who are now joint for second place. Steve F1 sitting in fourth on 42 points, with Jason not too far behind in sixth. Twilight only 1 point behind Jason on 37 points, with Hulkenberg on 35, Dave the Harp on 34, and he's joined there by Bunsell. Rodders on 30, Rich Blues is in 11th on 19 points, and then we've got Formula Gary, Groover, SRI, My Bad, Drew and Drew rounding out the championship standings. Next up we have Brands Hatch GP for another 40-minute endurance race in the Toyota SFR car. It could be a very exciting one. Who's going to take the win? There's only one way to find out. Come and join us next week.